So, good morning, guys. I'm going to take a demo session on Oracle SQL. So, I would really like to start with the Oracle SQL session first. But before understanding the Oracle SQL, which we generally called as a structured query language, we need to understand something else, which we call it as database. Because without database, there is no need of understanding this language. So what we call it is a database. See, as we all aware, anything or any other physical entity or any software way in which we can store our data, we call it as a database. Okay, it's like, for example, during your school days, we have this called registers for attendance. Okay, in the similar fashion, we have that register, what is nothing but we call it as a database because it's storing our information of an attendance of a class. Similar fashion, in today's world, for storing any kind of a data, where to store data, like, I would like to say any kind of data is like, I will come to this point what types of data are there, but before that, for storing a data, we need something called a software. We call it as a database. That database itself, a name itself is told, informing or telling us that it's a base for storing our data. Okay. Now, database basically generally has been divided into two part, or I would like to say it made up of, it has two major part. First, we call it as logical database. I'm sorry, I have forgot to share my screen. Let me just share it. Yeah. So it has what I told just now, database something for storing our data. Now database has two major parts, logical database and physical database. What the significance of each is, logical database comprises of, I would like to say, something which, in which logically data, not logically data, I would like to say the objects which is going to get stored in database. Like for example, you have a schema, you have a table space, you have users info. So all this will come where our logical database will come into the picture. I will not go much into the detail because this is more related to the database administration task. We'll just giving a brief over this. And the physical database is comprises of redo log files, control file, and data files. What does the significance is redo? Okay, let me come with this first. Data files, the name itself is telling where we are going to actually store our data. That will come into a files and it will store in a disk, and that disk has been there in your, we call it as a database. What is redo log file? Redo log file will basically store those information which having a changes or which will record all the changes happening in your data, either your modification, creating a new data, or I would like to say removing an existing data and all that. Similar fashion, control files is also comprises in the similar way, the way these two files has been done. So I will not go much into the detail of this because it is more related to a DBA task. Now, as I told you, that database is basically used to store a data. Now, what kind of data we are basically trying to store? There are two types of data always exist in our system or in us. First, we call it as structured data, and second, we call it as unstructured data. What does it mean? Structured data are something in which which type of data is going to store is being predefined. Of data is being stored is predefined. For example, uh, a particular section you're going to store a name of a person, going to store details like phone number, then numeric data will going to store birth date, then date type of data is going to store. So that's why we call it as a structure in the sense we have properly defined the structure of each type of data that in this particular section. I'm just taking some terminology right now, might be it will create confusion, but for understanding purpose, like for example, in database we'll store the data in tables. If you talk about structured data, so in tables comprises of a column. So particular column we are going to store a type of data like name, which is called string type, then date, which is date type, then numbers, number type. Similar way, we are defining a structure that this type of structured data is going to come into the system. That's why we call it a structured data. What is unstructured data? If you can see in your Facebook page, what is this? If you can see Twitter, if you can see Insta, what is, they all are having unstructured data because they have videos, images, text, okay. Then you have emoticons and several others. So there is no any predefined in this that particular only such kind of data will come. So such kind of data we call it as a unstructured data. Now, as we understand, database is basically holding both type of data. Now, which technology you are going to use to read, to define, to create, to read, to perform faster makes the differentiation between which technology you are applying on which type of data. Like for example, structured data, we are going to go with the understanding of RDMS concept, which is called as relational database concept system, or I would like. Okay, relational database is what? In which one structured data has been related to other. One data is being related to other. Okay, now, so that's why we call it as relational database system. But in unstructured data, so in unstructured data, as we know that there is structure is not being defined. So what we are planning to do over here is in unstructured data, what kind of technology comes into the picture? Big data. Your Hadoop. This all are particular kind of technology which will help me to works on heavy data, unstructured data to process such kind of data into a database. So that's why if we are talking about heavy data, it means their sizes are also not only in GBs, it is in terabytes or more than that also. In structured data, you have mostly up to GBs or max to max TBs, depend on the organization to organization, which type, up to which uh, segment they can hold the data in their database. So this is more or less two different technologies, two different types of data which system will work or which professionally the guys will work to handle it, and everything will go into the one place which is called a database. Now I will just move my, I'll just shift myself from this. I just gave you a brief that what is database. Database comprises of what? Logical database, physical database, and then database holding data. So which type of data can hold database? This two type of data can hold a database. Okay, so particular type of data can hold, can work with which type of technology, and particular unstructured data can work with which type of technology. Now if we take our main focus toward SQL, so that's why I initially mentioned this definition of structured query language. The name itself is telling the structured query. It means this type of language has helped me to perform the operation over the structured data. It means I'm planning to show the data in the system. I'll just give you a snapshot how the structured data will look. For example, this is my database tool, SQL Developer. I'll just show you. I'm writing some queries. We will see this in much. We will see this in detail in later sessions. Just okay. So, for example, I have one table. As I told you, I will give you a brief on this later. So this is my table. If I particular execute, so if you can see this, such kind of data we call it structure, because in employee ID section I can store the number. So ID of an employee, the first name I will store the first name of an employee, the last name I'll store the last name, email, phone number, hiring date, job ID, salary, all this. So if you can see, this is called a structure, and the queries which I have just now executed, it's called select query, or I would like to say SQL query. That's why I call it structured query language. We will see in detail about each and every way, how I have written select, why I have written select, why I have written star, why I have written from. Everything will go in detail, but in later. I'm just giving a brief over this, what we are going to study in SQL classes. Okay. So in structured query language, so now have you have understand what is SQL and why we are using this, because SQL is a query which we are trying to fire over the structured data. I'll just show you the syllabus which we are going to understand in. So if you will understand, this whole SQL session will take, and this will helpful for developer as well as data science guys also. So SQL session basically, or I would like to say understanding of SQL session will complete in 15 to 16 hours. What type of what things or what is the content we are trying to understand in SQL is, if you'll see over here, like to just hold on for a second. Yeah. Okay. So here, if you see, we will try to understand what is SQL. Overview will try to understand. Types of SQL means SQL itself is divided into 5 languages: data definition language, data manipulation language, data retrieval language, transaction control language, data control language. What is the significance of each and every language? We will go in detail. Like data definition, the name itself is telling we are defining the structure in which we are going to hold the data. Data manipulation itself telling that we, whatever the data we have stored it, we are going to manipulate such kind of a data. Data retrieval, whatever the data we have stored using manipulation language, we are going try to retrieve that data from the database. Fourth one is transaction control, means we are trying to control our uh, language, or sorry, I will trying to control our statements, whatever we have fired for manipulation. Like I would like to say, transaction control and data control more or less similar kind of way. I'll explain you in the below content. I'll just give you. Then we try to understand the data types which is involved in SQL. Then we have DDL language. In DDL, what we are going to study, like creating structures, then constraints, then alteration, drop, truncate. This all are data definition language. Means we are trying to define the structure, we are trying to manipulate the structure, we are trying to delete, remove the structure. Then we have a DML, means manipulation. We are trying to create the data. Here we are creating structure. Here we are creating data. Two different. There's a difference between these two. We are inserting means creating a data, updating, deletion, and merging. Then data retrieval, as I told you, this select statement, if you can see over here, we are retrieving the data from database. So this select statement will come in your retrieval language. Okay. So viewing the data is nothing but you're selecting a data. Filtering the data, I will explain you, in which we are putting certain kind of clauses in which how much data. Here, if you can see, all data will come when you have 107 records are there, all has been fetched up. But we can put certain filter, the only particular set of record can come, where we talk about the clauses like where clause and all that. So duplicate rows, exclude, how to remove, sorting, creating table using other table. Then dual table concept will try to understand operators. Okay, what type of operators we are trying to we are going to study. Then Oracle functions, there are many functions are there in Oracle. I have divided into two part: group function and scalar function. So in group function, the function which is apply over the group set of data. Scalar function will apply on a single value at a time. We will see that also in detail. Then we'll talk about the joins, all type of joins we are going to study along with examples. Then we have a subqueries. Subquery means is also one of the concept which is mostly asked in interviews. Joins, subqueries, set operators are such kind of a concept which mostly has been asked in interviews. Then we have a TCL, transaction control, which I had told you in the above that we have fourth language or transaction control language. Like whatever data you have inserted, if you suppose you feel that that data has been wrongly inserted, then there is a way to take out the data from the system. Immediately we call it using a rollback. If suppose you want to permanently keep that data in your database, if you're firing, then after the firing of insert statement, update statement, anything, you have to fire a commit statement so that the data will get be permanently stored in your database. So what is there in TCL is, in TCL we'll try to understand that this two statement, commit and rollback, is going to get fire over the manipulation languages, because manipulation is the only language where we have insert, update, delete and merging statement. So this two statement will fire only on those four language. We'll see that much in detail. Then data control language means grant and revoke. Like for example, now as I told you, database is big thing. In database, you have particular all hundreds of user of an organization is trying to work in a single table or single set of data or different. So suppose I created one table today. Like for example, I show you this is one table which I created. Now I don't want other users to see this table. So what I will do, I will keep some grant access that to just select only, so that other user cannot access my data. So if you will understand, database or SQL will provide me the security fashion or security uh, concept as well, so that I can keep my data secure for other employees so that they cannot access my data. That thing can be done by grant and revoke logic. Means I am granting some permission. Which kind of permission you can grant? You can grant select permission. You can grant insert, update, delete, or all kind of permission for a user. It has been user to user, which user you want to give which kind of permission so they can access your data or not. So it will give you data security fields over here. Revoking is the opposite of grant. Whatever the permission I have given, I just want to revoke that permission. So I will use the revoke statements. Then we'll see the views. What all views are there? Views will have two types of views: simple view, complex views are there. So that we're going to see in detail. Then we have indexes. Index are also two type: B-tree and bitmap indexes. So indexes is also one kind of specific Oracle database objects which help me to read my data faster. How it will work and how we will create, we'll see in the coming sessions. So this is the overall SQL content which we are going to study. The similar way, if anyone has been interested for PL SQL, so in PL SQL is also I have put certain content-wise topic, like in PL SQL is going to take minimum 15 to 18 hours session. Then we will study overview, syntaxes, data type, variable, constant, operator, condition, loop, string, arrays, procedure, function, cursor, record, exception, trigger, packages, collection, and DBMS output. So all this will come into PL/SQL. What is PL/SQL? We call it as procedural language, structured query language. Procedure language, structured query language. Now, what is the difference between PL/SQL and SQL is, in SQL, you will write single statement at a time and firing a query to fetch that data. PL/SQL is a kind of a block or a kind of a coding in which a complete code you will write from one begin section till end section, and whatever you want to do, you will write in between and fire it. So all statement get fired at a time. So there is a difference. You can store the PL/SQL block, but you cannot store query as like, means you can save your file, that is different scenario. But PL/SQL is mostly helpful when you have to go for batch wise processing, or when you have to go for, I would like to say, package calling. Your batch is calling a package or a function. All this thing has been involved in your PL/SQL system. So this is the more or less full totally about your brief understanding of how the SQL content will be there, what all things we are trying to cover, and what all type of data is there, and all this thing has been mentioned in the SQL classes. So with this, I'm just trying to end my session. Okay, so thank you guys.